Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Forgive me for the paper being a little fuzzy today. But anyway, it's not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And that's the message that the Lord God hath given unto me to give unto you. Okay. So, of course, you know I have two dreams. Well, man, again, I dreamed all night again, man. A lot of war and conflict going on in the spirit world. I mean, a lot of it, man. Man, I was fighting last night. Let me read this to you right fast because let's see if I making sure that I wrote down something. All right. So this is a dream that I had. It's about people I knew. I had this woman that's in along with me and a childhood friend. I had a lot of money. She got a phone call from a man. I ran, I ran like I was going. She had got a phone call from a man, so I ran like I was going to hit her, and and hit the and I hit the desk that she was that way she had. So my friend comes out and get me and finish and get me to finish counting the money. I know the man I wasn't going. I said I know man I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to hit her. I wasn't going to do her anything. From talking to the man and say loud to make her uncomfortable, and then I woke up from that dream. But really, it's a woman that you live in that life. So when you live in, um, you think you be living a life of God, and you reading your Bible, you're praying, doing things of that nature. But that's a form of godliness and denying the power thereof. And I was dating this woman, and you be dating these people and thinking things gonna happen, that you and him gonna get married, and it's gonna work out fine. But next thing you know, you find out that they messing around with other people, and then you start messing around with other people, and you're still going to church and doing all these different things. You're just living a sinful life because you're not keeping all God's commandments. You're not in the binds of the Holy Covenant. Because once I started keeping God's Holy Covenant, getting back in the binds of forever covenant that He had given unto us and known about, not just the Sabbath day, the covenant. And once I start keeping that, man, all the other stuff that I was struggling with all over the years, all that just felt off, just went away. Yeah, it just went away. But anyway, so I was in the house with her, me and the guy we grew up with. So we was in the house together. So just me, her, and him. And so I had a lot of money. And then I got a phone call from a man. She got a phone call from a man. And when I know it, so people know when you talk to a woman or man on the phone. So don't never believe they don't know the difference. They know the difference, even if you try to hide it. Because a lot of women think they slick as grease, but you're not. You're not. Just that man don't care. And if he doesn't care, that means that he got somebody else too. And you just deceiving yourself. Both of y'all deceiving yourself, living in that sin. Well, anyway, so as she got the phone call and everything, so I ran up to her like I was going to hit her, but I just hit the desk to make a loud sound. And she just looked around me, and the other man, he looked at me also, like I was going to do something. Nah, man, do y'all. No, I said, I'll just mess with her, I was teasing her, because I didn't want to have nothing to do with anything no more. I just wanted to, come to a time when you know how a person is, and how they do and how they are, really. Just leave it alone. Just go ahead on, do as you please, and I'm going to go do as I please. So it was one of those type of encounters. So he came and said, came over there and got me, come on, let's go finish counting money. And I just told him, said, man, I'm gonna hit her, man. I was messing with her. And then, and then after I said it in a loud voice to make her uncomfortable, let her know that I know that she's talking to me. Then I woke up from that dream. All right, so the next dream I had, I was in this house. I was in the house watching another friend who had a person that I know who had this old, he had people that you grew up with, a person that I grew up with, and he had this old Fordish truck like mine. We had the same type of trucks. I watch him as he takes off and go in the direction of the house where I was staying at, or where my truck was parked at, where I had gas in my truck. Then he comes back and tells me he's looking at my truck. I tell him I'm going to leave. I told him I was going to leave that back alone. And so he's looking at the back. Well, I'm just let me finish now. I'll go back over to it. So I told him I was going to leave that back alone. So I tried making it better. So as I was walking away, he said, bad that they went to get that gas out of your other truck while you were around here. And I get out the place, so I was running down the street, uh, yeah, and running down the street. Anthony and other was amazed how fast, they were amazed how I could run so fast. As I get to the corner, this young guy comes around the corner on a bicycle with the gas in the open container on the back, like well, I'm gonna go back over on the bike. So I take him, I take the bike from under him. He goes way across the street, because I took him and slung him way across the street. So he goes there, look down upon him because it was wounded, and I wake up from that dream. So, um, so as the dream go, I'm on a cone. I'm on a cone of two street cones like birch and hickory, say two tree cones, two street. And so as I'm on a cone and I'm in the house, so I'm looking at this guy named Anthony. So I'm looking at him outside, and he has a truck, and I'm inside in the house, and I have a truck too, and both our trucks around the same age, in the 40s, like like in the 40s type style trucks. And so as so I'm looking at the back of my truck, so I'm trying to get it, trying to get the truck, refurbish the truck, trying to get the truck refurbished and bring it up to a modern truck, something I can ride and look good in. And so as I'm doing that, I see, look at the back of the truck, say, man, I'm not doing no more to this truck just like that. And then as I say that, I see him. And why I see him, now he goes and take his truck and he goes out in the directions that we say go out south. And so as he goes out south, the next scene, as he goes out south, I was looking at him go south, like around the way to my house. My house faces south. And then next thing you know, come back. Next scene, now him and I in the house together. So as he as him, myself and him are in the house. I watch him as he takes off in direction, come to the house. He comes back and tells me, and he's looking at my truck at the back of the truck. He tells me, he looks at the back of the truck, and then the truck is the green color, a little less than a lime green color. It wasn't that bright. It was lime green, but a dark lime. And so he looks at the back of it, and he said, I said, look at it and say, man, I ain't doing no more to that truck just like that. And then say, uh, he tells me it's, wait a minute. So he tells me as I was walking off, he tells me, I'm going to leave back and I'm trying to make it better. And as I was walking away, he says, bad that they went to get gas out your truck. So same time as I tell him I'm not doing no more to that truck, he tell me, say, man, it's bad that you not men do. Say it's bad that they went around that truck to get around the corner to get gas out your truck while you're here. So he was warning me because he had went in that direction. He had seen what they was doing, and he came back to warn me. So as he came back and told me what they was doing around there, then as they told, if he tell me what they was doing around there, I said, man. Then I said, man, I just next thing you know, I'm running down the street. I'm running real fast. Yeah, they was amazed how fast I could run. And man, I was running real fast. Then before I can get around the corner, here come the guy who had taken the gas out the truck around there to meet me. But he's on a bicycle now. He's on old bicycle too. One they have a little stand on the back of it. And so, but he have a container. Now the container looked like a 3 inches circumference container, and it was no more than about 3 inches high. Let's say I'll give it 4 inches. And so, but they had gas, and I could see the gas in it. And so before he could sit in there, I just, he's on the bike. Now, bike that he's on is also green, but it's just like a little, same color green, but it's just a little brighter, and like it had to fade a little bit. And so I just come and take snatch the bike completely from under him. So as I snatch the bike completely from under him, now he goes and falls. Yeah, he goes and falls across the street in front of some other people's house. Then I run over there to see how they're doing, to question him and everything. Then I wake up from that dream. So that's the dream. So I had another dream. I asked the Lord to show me. He didn't show me, but no, the covenant date coming up. He probably give me a whole lot during the covenant date. So next, the one that I was in the spirit world warring. They had all colors there. So man, it was a lot of fighting going on. But I was there also. But all I could see, I couldn't make out no face, and all I could see the different colors that was fighting in this war. And this the second time this week that I had went in the spirit world and was fighting. So those are the dreams. Now, let's get to it. Now, I told you yesterday that I was going to go into it. And I'm these pastors and preachers, they just stubborn, stiff-necked, and rebellious, and they're going to be held accountable for that. Because the Lord God gave me this books and things there to give to y'all. I mean, so they would know and know how to really tell God's people where to go out and learn them. But they're so busy into filthy lucres and covetous and plunderers of other people good. And that's what they taught all of us. That's why all of us like that get over mentality. Until you get rid of that get over mentality and want to be honest and open in all your dealings, you're not going to make it. No, you got to get rid of that mentality. When I was on long time ago, man, it's years ago. This might be 82, 83, something like that. And I was on on 11, I was smoking weed. Yeah, I went on 11, smoke a weed, smoke a joint, as they used to sit back. Yeah. So as I was on there, and then I looked around and had Angel. At the time, I didn't know if he was an angel. I didn't pay no attention, really no attention to, because I was smoking. And come there and he said, read your Bible to get rid of that hoodlumness out you. Just like that. That's all he said. Read your Bible to get rid of that hoodlumness out you. And so I turned my head, started smoking again. And when I looked back around and see where he was gone, he was gone. He was gone. And that's how I knew it was the angel of the Lord that told me that. Yeah, I mean, you know how somebody tell you something and you just turn your head, take another puff, and you look back around, they gone. You see them walk off and you turn your head, look back, and they gone. And so tell you like that, like Lord God, Holy Angels, read your Bible, get rid of that hoodlumness out you. And so they got, but I didn't start eating meat until I started keeping God's holy covenant. Then he taught me how to eat meat. So let's go. Let's go there. We're going to the book of Hasher, Jasher, book of Hasher. And we're going to start. I don't want to stay on this long because I do want to go in the Holy Bible today. The Lord God, give me stuff that I have read to y'all over again. But I wanted to, because our women didn't lost so much in this captivity. And this captivity have been told you. Our father Judah told us what we was going to become in this captivity. That we're going to become covetous. We're going to become plunderers of other men's goods. Our daughters going to become singing harlots. Yeah, he told us all that. Yeah, and that's what we have become. The Testament of 12 paper, the Testament of Judah, the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. So that's the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. So our women, man, we had good women, man. Our women, so we're going to see. I want to go to the chapter. I want to go to the chapter after Lord God has sent the holy angels to destroy destroy them. Let me see. Uh, this Abimelech. I guess this is chapter 19. Chapter 19. Book of Hashir, chapter 19. Uh, okay. Oh, so it's chapter 19. The Lord God had destroyed. Uh, we're gonna start at verse 56. And Abraham rose up early in the morning to see what had been done to the city of Sodom. He looked and beheld the smoke of the city going up like a smoke of a furnace. Lot and his two daughters remained in the cave, and they made their father drunk with wine. They laid with him. And for they said there was no man on earth that could produce descendants from them, for they thought that the whole earth was destroyed. The both of them lay with their father conceived, gave birth to son. The first called the name of the son Moab, and that's what Moab still right now today. That land Moab, saying from the father I did conceive of him, and his father of the Moabites today. All right, the young also her son Beninum. He is the father of the son of Ammon to this day. After this, Lot and his two daughters went away from there and lived on the other side of Jordan with his two daughters and son. The son of Lot grew up and took himself wives from the land of Canaan, and they had children, and they was prolific and multiplied. So we know that and say that. So chapter 20. At that time, Abram journeyed from the plain of Mary. He went to the land of the Philistines. He lived in Ger, and it was 25th year of Abraham being in the land of Canaan. At 100 years, you see, in the 100th year of the life of Abram, 100 years old now, that came from Ger in the land of the Philistines. And they was entering to the land. He said, Sarah, his wife, said that, now you know Sarah was 90. And when they entered into the land, he said to Sarah, his wife, say you are my sister, that anyone that should ask you in order that we may escape the evil inhabitants of the land. As Abraham was dwelling in the land of Philistine, serving Abimelech, the king of Philistine, saw that Sarah was greatly beautiful. Now, this woman is 90 years old. You hear me? You hear me? And they saw that she was greatly beautiful. And they asked Abraham concerning her, say, she is my sister. And the servant Abimelech went to Abimelech and said, a man from the land of Canaan has come to dwell in the land, and he has a sister that is exceedingly fair. See that? And Abimelech heard the word of the servant who praised Sarah to him. And Abimelech sent his officer and brought Sarah to the king. I'm gonna stop it right there. I don't want to go in no further. I just wanted to prove all our women was beautiful. The same thing happened to Isaac and Rebecca. I mean, I'm not going to get deep into it, but I did that behind Kenny Copeland. He acted like Sarah was old, wrinkled, and out of shape. No, she wasn't. She still had a beautiful young appearance. The woman wasn't living no life of. Let me go ahead, because our people being greatly deceived, and our women being greatly deceived, and they got all that painting. But don't worry, the Lord God, you're gonna pay for all that painting and all that stuff, them tattoos and all that. I made a video called Genum Time, Genun. Go read that. Go listen to that, or just go to the second book of Adam and Eve and read that book, or listen to it, and you see what's going on. Because our people, our women, then got to where they shake their head, they're being disobedient. You're not being disobedient to the black man or Israel because he doesn't have the things, he's not serving idols and things. You're being disobedient to God because that man is being obedient to God. But you want the things of this world and things of this life, and God don't need all them people. God do not need all those people to start all over again. Doesn't need it. Yeah, well, you go ahead on, you feel when the Lord God said only a remnant, and then that's a small portion. They also, you gotta understand, when he came, when the Lord God come back, five gonna be taken with him, and five gonna be left. Five gonna go through this tribulation, and five gonna go with him and start all over again. Well, I mean, not start continue, but continue in righteousness. So, y'all go ahead and be deceived. Go keep on being deceived. That the Lord God is not gonna punish you for all that filth that you're doing and all that stuff. Repent. That's just about repent. God's hand is still stretched out. All right. Well, let's see what we say about that. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 5. Book of Isaiah. I'll just give it to you as he didn't give it to me. Isaiah chapter 5. I mean, all I can do, that's all I can do. And then one day it's going to be over with. You're going to see. One day, just like I'm here, then one day you'll say, oh, where's that crazy man at? Now, Isaiah chapter, now will I sing to my beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard and a very few fruitful hill. He fenced it, he gathered out the stones there and planted with choice vine. He built a tower in the midst of it and also made a wine press therein. He looked that it should bring forth grapes. It brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, it brought forth wild grapes. Now I'm telling you, I know about it. Oh yeah. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And now go to, and I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the walls thereof, and shall be trodden down. I will lay it waste, it shall be not pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. And I'll also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah is his pleasant plant. He looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. And that's what's going on right now. Oh yeah. Oh, all throughout, all over the world. Woe unto them that journey house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. Well, that's what's going on right now. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got the internet and everything, and there's no place where you could be hid. No place. Everything. Well, you should know that by now. The cameras and everything. And my ears say the Lord of hosts, of truth, many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield one bath, and a seed of a homer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink that continue until night, till wine inflame them. And the harp and the viol and the tamarind and the pipe and the wine are in their feast. But they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of hand. And just like I told you right now today, still in there moaning and praying and trying to get back right with the Lord, man. They in there singing, dancing, and look what I done while I'm supposed to be praying and saying, this is what I'm doing. I'm dancing, I'm singing, listening to different music and everything going on. And you're going to pay for it. Watch. Just keep watching. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. Their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because that's why I'm here. I'm trying to get you to understand, to want the knowledge of God once again. To just want it, and go in these different books and read and get into the knowledge of God and let God lead you. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. And that's when you go in the house, worship and pray, what they doing? Rejoicing. That's what they're doing, and build these big old homes and all like that. To do what? And the mean man should be brought down, the mighty man should be humble, and the eyes of the lawful shall be humble. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment. God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. Then shall the lamb feed after their manner, and the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cause of vanity, and sin as it were with a rope, with a cart rope. They say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it. And let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, and put darkness for light and light for darkness, and put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Because that's what we, man, our people, that's what we do. Yeah, not just our people, all over, man. Just like you watch television and everything, you got one man killing this man, running behind a man because this man did wrong. But both of y'all did wrong. Y'all killing each other, evil. Both of y'all doing evil, but got one person called the man that killed. Oh, looking at it on top. Oh, that's yeah. He killing the man. So yeah, that's good. That's good. Finally, he got him. That's good. All that stuff, man. I can go on and on, but let me finish. Warn him that is wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own deceit, in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, men that strength to mangle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the shaft, so their root shall be rottenness, and their bosom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and has stretched forth his hand against them, and has smitten them. And the hills did tremble, and their carcass was torn in the midst of the street. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. See, he haven't came back, and all these things that he's doing, his hand is still stretched out. And he will lift up an ensign to the nation from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth, and behold, they shall come speed swiftly. We say, well, speed swiftly. That would say they shall come. None shall be weary nor stumble among them. None shall slumber nor sleep. Neither shall the girdle of their loins be loose. I say loins. Loins shall be loose. Nor latches of their shoelace of their shoes be, nor the latch of their shoes be broken. Whose arrows are sharp and their bows bent. Their horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Their roaring shall be like a lion, and they shall roar like young lions. Yea, they shall roar and lay holds of the prey, and they shall carry it away, and none shall deliver it. And in that day shall they roll against them like the roaring of the sea. And one look unto the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. So that's coming. Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's going to be a dark day, a gloomy day, a dark day, man. Going to chapter 10, Isaiah chapter 10. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree, that write grievous which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy for judgment, and take away the right from the poor of my people. The widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. And what will you do in the day of the visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will you flee for help? Where would you leave your glory? Without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, the staff in their hands is my indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation. Against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge, to take the spoil, to take the prey, to tread down like the mire of the street. Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither doeth his heart think so. But but it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few. For he said, are not my princes altogether kings? Is not Calno, Carchemish, is not Hamath at April, is not Samaria as Damascus? As my hand had found the kingdoms of idols, whose graven images did not excel them at Jerusalem and of Samaria. Shall I not, as I have done in Samaria and her idols, so do as Jerusalem and her idols? Wherefore it should come to pass that when the Lord had performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart, the king of Assyria, in the glory of his high looks. For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and I have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And my hand had found as a nest the riches of the people, and one gathered eggs that are left. Have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. Should the axe boast itself against him that heweth it therewith, or should, or shall, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as it were no wood. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. And those things. So I suggest you go meditate on everything that the Lord God has said, because you don't see the famine. Yeah. When you send among fat ones leanness, that's a famine. And it should kindle a burning kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. Come on, man. It's gonna get bad. It's bad. You think it's bad now, but it's gonna be. I told you. And the light of Israel should be for a fire, and the Holy One for a flame. And it should burn and devour the thorns and the briars in one day. So I told you when Israel become a nation again, what's going to happen? It shall consume the glory of his forest and the fruitful field, both soul and body. It shall be as when a standard bearer faileth. The rest of the trees of the forest shall be few, that a child may write them. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, such as escape out of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. I told you. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty God. For though thy people Israel been as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. Okay, well, let's continue on. Overflow right. For the Lord of hosts shall make a consumption, even determined in the midst of all the land. Therefore, thus say the Lord God of hosts, O my people that dwelleth in Zion, be not afraid of the Syrian. He shall smite thee with a rod, shall lift up his staff against thee after the manner of Egypt. For yet a very little while the indignation shall cease, and my anger in their destruction. And the Lord of hosts shall stir up a scourge of him according to the slaughter of Midian at the rock of Oreb. And his rod was upon the sea, so shall he lift it up after the manner of Egypt. So, yeah, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. And that's the told you, go give out 300 copies, find out. And it, well, I mean, I don't know how between you and the Lord, you don't have to, it's already been done, so it's between you and the Lord. And it should come to pass in that day that the burden should be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. He is come to Anath, he passes to Migron, Michmash, he had laid up his carriages. They are gone over the passage. They have taken up the lodging of Geba. Ramah is afraid. Gilboa of Saul is fled. Lift up the voice, O daughter of Gilead. Cause it to be heard unto Laish, O poor Antidote. We say, Madmanah is removed. The inhabitants of Gebron gather together to flee. As yet shall he remain at Nob that day, and shall shake his hand against the mount of the daughter of Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. Behold, the Lord of hosts, shall loop and brought with terror, and the high ones of the stature should be hidden down, and the haughty should be humbled. And he shall cut down the thicket of the forest with iron, and Lebanon shall fall by a mighty one. Yeah, well, I mean, Lord God, all he does is just warn you and warn you. Come back in the bind forever covenant, keep all his commandments, be baptized in Jesus' name, receive the Holy Spirit, and it's going to go well with you. But, I mean, all I can do is give it to you as he has given it unto me. That's all I could do. Yeah, well, this is the last one. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift you up a banner unto the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called the mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoices in my highness. The noise of the multitude in the mountain, like a great people, tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nation gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven. See that? Even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So when they come from a far country, even in the heaven, you know what he's talking about. Told you, man, go read the heavens in the for the Levi. For the Levi. See what he said in Testament of 12 pages for the Levi. Therefore all hands be faint, every man's heart shall melt. They shall be afraid, pains and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flame. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with the wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Now that's Jerusalem first. It's Israel, our country, man, gonna clean it up. That's right. We come to clean it up. For the stars of heaven and constellations thereof shall not give their light. It's a dark day. The sun shall be darkened and going forth. The moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And we'll lay low the hardness of the terrible. That's right. That's going on right now. Right now. Yeah, well. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Oprah. Therefore will I shake the heaven, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord of hosts in the day of the fierce anger. See that? See? Told you, man, he's going to take the earth, remove it out of orbit, remove it back in orbit, and turn it upside down. I done read that to you before. And it should be as a chase roll, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Yeah? The children also shall be dashed in pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which should not regard silver as for gold, they should not delight in. So if you don't know who the Medes are, suggest you go read the book of Daniel. And if you don't read the book of Daniel, you can always go to the book of Jasher, Jashr, chapter 7 or chapter 8 to tell you. There, again, I think they have the Medes in there, who they are too. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. They shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of the kingdom, the beauty of the charities, excellently shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It should never be inhabited, neither should it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither should the Arabian pitch tent, neither should the Arabians pitch tent there, neither should the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there. The satyrs shall dance there. Yeah, satyrs. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Man, all I can do is this. All I can do that. Then chapter 14, then it tells us about us and what's going on with us. Well, I mean, it's chapter 14, and chapter 14. Oh man. Chapter 4 is Isaiah chapter 14. For the Lord would have mercy upon Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So when you read, like I told you, when go read the books of the 12 patriarchs, and as they give us the prophecy of the last time, you know that Jacob going to be taken out the land, and when Jacob go back into his homeland, and to his own land, that's Lord gonna plant us in our own land. Then all those things in chapter 13 gonna the Lord God said when Israel become a nation, gonna take us out the captives and bring us back to our own homeland. Then he gonna destroy the house of the enemy. That's what he said. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captive there, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou hast been made to serve. That thou shalt take up a proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nation in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. So, man, those tumultuous Jews over there in Israel, that's Babylon, man. Yeah, 3 Babylons, the daughter of Babylon and different things. This mystery Babylon. You have Babylon, the mystery of Babylon, and the daughter of Babylon. So we know it got to be Babylon because this false Messiah is going to show itself there. Then, yeah, who smote the people with wrath with a continual stroke? He ruled the nation in anger and persecuted none hindered. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, the cedars of Lebanon say, since thou art laid down, no fellows is come up against us. See? So you know what Lebanon is? See, the fir tree rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon say, since thou art laid down, no fellow come up against thee. So who is laid down? And who is against Lebanon? Who vexes them? Come on, man. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at the coming. It stirs up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of earth. It have raised up their thrones and all the kings of the nation. So we know that a resurrection is happening also at that time. And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Or thou become like unto us? Thy prompt is brought down to the grave. The noise of the vow, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground with this weaken the nations, with serving idols and all the nation, wherever Israel was scattered, Lucifer came there with them false Jews and all them people did all their work against them. Let me go ahead and finish. Well, you also got those who say they're Jews or not, and you got the Roman Catholic Church, For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as the wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners? And that's where you at now. You in the church house, synagogue, sanctuary, high places, temple, tabernacle. That's where you are. That's where you are. And now you in a prison house. Okay. All the kings of nations, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like a abominable branch, and the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with sword, to go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people, and the seeds of the evildoers shall never be renowned. Man, just go read and think. My time is up. I'm gonna have to, yeah, because Satan gonna come up out the pit, fallen angels coming from the sky, that darkness, man, and y'all just refuse to hear. But it's here now. But Lord God's hand is still stretched out for you to repent. He's still stretched out, man. Well, let's see. Prepare the slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will raise up against them, let's see, rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, to cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, the nephew, saith the Lord. See, I will rise up, or I will raise up against them. I will rise up against them, say the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant and the son and nephew, say the Lord. I will also make it a possession for a bittering. The pools of water, I will sweep it with the balsam of destruction, say the Lord of hosts. Say be some. Bosom. I also make it a possession for bittering. The pools of water, and I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction, say the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have proposed, it shall stand. Now the Lord God doing that. That I break the Syrians in my land, and upon my mountain tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off of them, and his burden depart from off his shoulders. This is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. See, all I can do is tell you, this is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts hath proposed it, and whom shall this annul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahazah died was this burden. Rejoice not, whole Palestine. I would say Palestine. No, Palestine. Can't pronounce it, not tongue time. Rejoice not, thou whole Palestine, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the people shall feed, and neither shall lie down in safety. Now, let me stop there. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety, and I will kill the root with famine, and shall slay thy remnant. How, O gate, cry, O city, thou who Palestine, or dissolve, for there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall alone in its appointed time. I gotta say that. Um, it said pills. Oh God, it said Palestine or Palestine. How, O gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestine, art dissolved, for there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in its appointed time. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? The Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. So, yeah, this man not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. And that message told you, said, before the great and dreadful day of the Lord, I shall send Elijah to you. And he should turn the hearts back to the children, children hearts back to the fathers that come. But we know that, like I told you, he gave me a command, 3 years. And so this year you're keeping the Passover, next year you're keeping the Passover, then third year. You know, he told you 3 years, serve me for 3 years in the book of Hosea. Let me get this right. We say Palestia. Yeah, Palestina. 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 That's what it says. But anyway, can't help it now. Tony got tired. Pronunciation gonna be wrong. But you always can Google it. And they teach you how to pronounce it the right way. I'm not Googling nothing. This is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And I'm Elijah. Oh man, a dream came to me. Don't get along. A dream came to me, and I know the dream, but I have a lot of dreams in here that came to me. But there was one dream that had came to me, and I wanted to tell you. I said I will come back and tell you. See, oh man, let's see if I could see it. Yeah, well, let's see. Oh man. Yeah, they have a lot in it. A lot in it. Let's see if I can. Oh man, let's see if I can see it again. Well, I don't see it. I don't see it. It was about destruction. It was destruction. It was a destruction. Let me see if I could see it. I'll tell it to you. Oh no. Well, I don't see it. Don't see it. Don't see it. This is not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And I'm Elijah until next time.